Hey y'all, I'm so happy that you joined me today because we are going to have so much fun. We're making cowboy cookies and they are full of so many wonderful ingredients. You're just going to love them. So the first thing that we're going to do is mix together some of our ingredients, which includes 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I hope y'all are doing well. It's kind of getting cold again here, so anyway, we've gotten back out our jackets. So this is my first hack. I was getting everything ready to video, and we're kind of on a timeline, and I was out of baking soda. I have huge bags of baking soda. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, what you do, in case you're out of baking soda and you don't want to use self-rising flour, you can just use self-rising flour, is you triple the amount of baking powder. So that's what I've done here. So if I had baking soda, I would add 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. Let me see the recipe here. And a whole teaspoon of baking soda. So anyway, I did, so we'll see how that goes. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now I have in my something to share cookbook right there a recipe for ranch cookies, and this is a lot like them. It's got a little bit different things in it, and so I think that we are gonna try these and just see how yummy that they are. So I'm gonna mix those dry ingredients together, and then I am going to actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm also going to mix the other ingredients that we're going to use to flavor the cookies, which is 1 cup of coconut, a cup of oatmeal, and a cup, maybe a little bit more, of chopped pecans. Pecans are definitely our nut of choice. We love them, and so we cook with them any chance we get. So here we go these are all of our dry ingredients now, and we're just going to mix them together. And so anyway, let's mix those together, and then we're going to mix together our softer ingredients, and we'll show you how easy it is. Now anytime you start mixing together, you really do need to mix the whole thing together well. So just take a minute. Sometimes I just want to hurry, but you need to not hurry. These cookies make a lot, and they are absolutely delicious. So I'll put that right there, and then we are going to cream our butter first. So it's a whole cup of butter, 2 sticks. I tell you what, I had a little hand mixer from the time I got married, which was a while back, a long time ago, to forever. And it didn't even break. I hit it wrong and cut the cord on it a little bit. This is my second one that I bought since then. They don't make them like they used to. But anyway, we'll try. But I do have my trusty whisk just in case. So you want to mix the butter until it's just pretty. See how it's just kind of really soft. It needs to be softened whenever you start it. It needs to be softened. But so just give it a whirl. You can mix it for about 2 minutes if you want to. I won't today, but you can mix it for about 2 minutes. Then we're going to add a cup of brown sugar, and I use dark brown sugar, and a cup of white granulated sugar. This is pure cane sugar from Louisiana, I hope. And we'll mix all that together. I want to say thank you, if you can hear me, to everyone who has subscribed to us on YouTube. Thank you so much. And follows us on Facebook. Please share our videos. It's really important to anybody who does what we do to have your video shared. So if you wouldn't mind commenting and then sharing, that helps people like me a whole lot. Okay, so then we're going to add our eggs, which is 2 eggs. One at a time. Make sure they're really well incorporated. And just mix, mix, mix. I tell you, these, I have, I've made my ranch cookies a lot, but I saw this recipe. I think actually, if I remember correctly, Laura Bush is the one who made Cowboy Cookies famous because they had some kind of a contest for one of the magazines, maybe Taste of Home, and so this is the cookie that she entered or gave to them, and everybody just loved it. So let me get my vanilla. I left it in my cabinet. So you want to add a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm going to add it right here to this mixture before we add our dry ingredients. Okay. Stir, stir, stir. I'm going to move this out of our way. There we go. So stir, stir, stir. And here's the way the mixture looks. I didn't use my glass bowl today because I was afraid that it would not be large enough because there were so many ingredients in this. So I'm using these little mixing bowls instead. So I hope you can see it good enough. So I'm making sure that all of the ingredients got incorporated really well because we want these cookies to be just as yummy as they can be. And who doesn't love a wonderful cookie? I think I'm the original cookie monster. I just love cookies. And actually, Nico does too. So we're going to make sure that these are super yummy. So some of the brown sugar did not incorporate well. So I'm just taking my spoon and kind of smushing it against the back of the bowl. And that will make it incorporate better. Or I could turn that on for longer, but I'm going to try not to do that. Okay, there you go. So I had 2 hacks. I used 3 times the amount of baking powder that the recipe called for because I didn't have any baking soda. So that makes up the difference. And the other hack that I don't know I said it whenever I added it was I used, I was also out of oatmeal. We are never out of oatmeal because everybody likes it and we always have it in the pantry. And so we didn't. So I used a cup of granola and it'll be really yummy too. Now, this recipe that I'm using today it calls for cinnamon, which you saw. Ranch cookies does not, but this is Cowboy Cookies and it calls for cinnamon and vanilla, so that's all incorporated. So now we are going to mix together our dry ingredients and just mix it until it's stir, 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 right? Just stir, stir, stir. And then, you know what? It smells so good already, y'all, because of the butter and the 2 sugars, and it's a thick dough. So it's a very flavorful and yummy cookie, so yummy. But it makes kind of like a full cookie, if that makes sense. You know, it's sturdy, and so you want the dough to be thick. So if it's thick, that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. So you just have to be patient and stir everything in until it's mixed really well together. So while I'm stirring, let me tell y'all to please buy some of my Dana Dash. Let me see. Here it is right here. We've gotten the best reviews from it, and I'm so excited and grateful, so grateful. So you can get it at Ray's Supermarket in Montefiore, North Carolina. They have a supermarket where they butcher or make, they don't butcher the hogs there, but they do make their own sausage. And they use a recipe that is just years and years and years old. And they've always used this recipe. So that's kind of what they're famous for, I think, that and ribeye steaks. And also Little Eva's Pecan House in Clutieville, Louisiana. And I'm going to be there the last weekend of April. They're having a big spring festival, and they've invited us, so we're going to go. We're real excited. And so y'all come see me. I believe it's the 27th. And in Lebo's, all in Central Louisiana. So they have many locations. And I remember, my puppy, I remember when Lance Harris, Representative Harris, now he's on the education board in Louisiana, but he's definitely a public servant. He's also a businessman. And I remember whenever he bought the first one, I was just so proud of him because I thought, I just loved it that he was, making Pineville and all that area better with places to shop and ease of shopping. So go to Lebo's and get your Dana Dash if you need some. Okay, so I'm using an ice cream scoop for these cookies. Now, a nice little trick to using an ice cream scoop is to spray it with your vegetable spray, and it makes the cookies come out much easier. And they'll all be the same size that way. So you just take your scoop and hit the side of your bowl whenever you are bringing them out. Just kind of rub it on the side of the bowl there. And then now these are big cookies. So you need to leave about 3 inches in between each. And I've got my oven preheated to 350. And you bake them for, let's see, I think 12 to 15 minutes. I would say make sure, some people underbake their cookies a little bit, and they like it because they like the inside to be softer. So you can bake them from 12 to 15 minutes, just check them. And whenever you're baking cookies and you've gone on to do something else, you can start smelling them. And that's when they just smell so yummy. It makes your house smell so good. So y'all then need to think about checking them. So we'll have at least 2 pans of cookies in the oven. At one time, I might have to do it in 2 different bakings, but that's fine. So here we're going to put our cookies, Cowboy Cookies, in the oven, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes to show you how yummy they are. Hey, y'all. Well, we almost did have a big old oops because I almost forgot the chocolate chips. And what's a Cowboy cookie without chocolate chips? So anyway, you need to put your chocolate chips in and make sure that they're incorporated into your batter really well. Now, I use dark chocolate chips this time, and just use whatever your family likes. My family happens to really enjoy dark chocolate chips, so that's what we're using. So we have everything now very well incorporated, and we didn't forget anything. So what I'm going to do is, now remember I told you about spraying your ice cream scoop with a little vegetable spray. It makes it easier for it to, for the cookie batter to come out on your baking sheet. So we're going to put these on our baking sheet, and we're going to leave them about 3 inches apart. The oven is heated to 350. We're going to bake them for about 15 minutes, and then we will show you how yummy they are. And I'm telling y'all, you're going to love these cookies. They're delicious. Okay, y'all, here are our cookies, our Cowboy Cookies. They are beautiful. They're still warm. I just took them out of the oven. But my whole house actually just smells divine. So make these for your family because they will absolutely love them. They're still very warm and soft, but I was gonna show y'all. Look at the inside of them. All those wonderful ingredients. Oh my goodness, y'all. So let's give it a taste. Worth it. So good. Definitely worth all of those yummy ingredients. And I was going to show y'all another little thing that I did. I had more batter than we needed for today, so put the dough. I scooped them out, put the dough on some parchment paper, and I'm going to freeze them, and then we can have them for Sunday lunch. So anyway, here are cowboy cookies. So yummy. Y'all make them, and bon appetit. Or should I say giddy up?